first up, if the system works, we're going to have Phil Robinson, the Creative Director of Proctor and Stevenson. Phil, good morning to you.
Hi Greg, good morning.
How's you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very well indeed.
Yeah, so I mean, you've been a reasonably long-term Proctor and Stevensoner. I don't know what your internal phrase is for the tribe, but
yes. Been here a long time. Started back in 2004, actually, with a background in writing. But now I head up the creative team here. We have a team of photographers, designers, writers, filmmakers, the whole shooting match, really.
I mean, it must be. I mean, I'm going to ask you a couple of business questions, of course, but from a creative point of view, having that diversity of media and diversity of people you work with, let alone your clients, it must be really quite satisfying, I'd imagine.
Oh, it absolutely is. I like to think of the studio as a real hotbed of creativity. Lots of different people, lots of different backgrounds, lots of different skills, all brought to bear on combined challenges. So yeah, it's a pretty exciting place to work.
Yeah, and as far as you as a wordsmith, I hesitate to even asking this question, but here we go. As far as you can generalise or pick out some key themes, how are you, and especially your clients, viewing this year now?
The year gone or the year coming, Greg? Sorry.
The year coming.
The year coming, I think with great optimism, I would say. Our clients particularly are mainly business-to-business organisations, and from where we were this time last year, when there was, I think fair to say, a good degree of consternation and anxiety, and how do they keep doing business in the way they've always done it? I think we've had a really good year of applying our creative thinking and ingenuity together with our clients and arriving at some really good solutions that have overcome that issue of not having physical interaction with their customers, which has been the major concern that people have. But thanks to things like digital technology, we've really been able to find some quite innovative solutions to that problem and made it clear that business can continue. So there is optimism there.
Well, let's just talk through some of that, and perhaps particularly around the creative challenges through to COVID. How the narrative has changed when advising on marketing campaigns and then creating them. You think it's better to sort of, to confront it, to reference it, or simply just not reference it at all due to the sheer enormity of it?
Well, there was a huge stampede, I think, at first for our brands to show themselves to be in tune with the whole sentiment of the world, and the whole now more than ever sort of advertising that you see all of the time. But I think that's become tired, and I think brands really need to remain relevant to what their customers need and want. Obviously, the context of the pandemic is crucial because that's the main factor in everyone's life right now. But to be seen to in some way commercialise it or make commercial gain out of it is absolutely wrong. So I think people just need to, as they always have done in marketing, be relevant to their customers and make offers that are based on what people actually want and need.
So when you're looking out across the sort of canvas of this year, and of course, caveat, it's going to be different for each client, or at least each sector. Mm-hmm. What do you think might be some of the enduring changes in the sort of value set of consumers and businesses that will ensure that you will be addressing as a team?
There's absolutely no question that the number one change that will remain a constant is, in our experience, is the digitalisation of the world. The fact that everyone has had to become, to one degree or another, a digital business over the last 12 months. When people couldn't interact physically, people have found ways to replicate that in the digital world. And some of the efficiencies and speed and the idea of being a much more agile business, all of those things should remain in place. And the creative thinking, the way that everyone had to approach new challenges in different ways, I think that ingenuity should remain a constant as well over the next 12 months and beyond.
Well, that comes very neatly onto my next question, so I'm gratified for that, which is, in happier times, clients absolutely thrive on boldness. I can imagine you as a creative team at Proctor and Stevenson absolutely love that boldness. Are you finding there's a greater conservatism, or is there still space for innovation and boldness?
I would actually probably say the opposite. I would say that from 12 months ago, when everyone was anxious about the future, everyone recognised the value of creative boldness and doing things differently. And I think there's an appetite that remains for that. I think people haven't sort of normalised back to where they were previous to 12 months ago. And I think the idea that everyone recognises the value in challenging the norm or looking for innovation, I think people can see that is where businesses will succeed, and I think that sentiment still holds true.
In almost an existential sense, this has been a challenge to all of our sense of existence and our creativity and so on. So I guess, this very much tallies with what you're saying, that now is the time when creativity, there's a greater premium on it, because we've all been sort of loosened up, and we've all been shaken up by this process. So it's time for new thinking.
Exactly that. That's exactly right. The shackles have been thrown off. And people have recognised that there are different ways to do things. You don't have to do the same thing in the same old way all of the time. So even as we hopefully come out of the pandemic, I think people really want to maintain that sort of spirit of innovation, and don't want to settle back into, right, let's just do what we always did previous to this. I think really there is an appetite there to do it.